hardest part about being on a diet is all the shit that you have to take from your friends. What's up, real people? It's me, Lori, and I am back today with some more real talk. So I've recently gone back to a healthier routine, and because I've been so far off of, working out and eating right, I've had to be pretty strict about my diet. You might think that the hardest thing about that is cutting back on carbs, fat, and greasy foods, and dessert. Or you might think that the hardest part is having to wake up early in the mornings to go to work out before work, which is the first time I've ever done that in my life. But no, the hardest part is actually dealing with other people. Every time I do something that involves restraint in eating, I get so much shit from everyone. It's like people are offended by every grain of rice I don't put in my mouth. Or like they can't enjoy their meal because I'm not sharing it with them, which if you think about it, makes no fucking sense. Sometimes it's just that people want to talk about my diet, which is fine, except they want to talk about it all night. And I'm not talking about strangers here where, it might be difficult to come up with a topic of conversation with them. I'm talking about my good friends with whom I could be talking about a million things. But instead, hanging out has to become a critique of what I have decided to eat and what I've decided not to eat. This would actually be fair if I were one of those people who imposed my dietary restrictions on everyone else. Like if I were a vegan and I refused to eat in any restaurant unless it served only vegan food, but I'm not that person. I'm the person who figures out what I want to eat from whatever the menu is and orders it regardless of what anyone else thinks. And I expect other people to do the same. I'm also honestly not a person who's on an extreme diet. Eating healthy is not a big deal, people. I don't need lectures on how I shouldn't be so hard on myself or how it's okay to have a cheat day. Y'all are not my nutritionist and I did not ask you. Okay, that was a little harsh, but it's true. Like, unless you think that I'm anorexic, which if you know me, you would know that I love food so much that would be fucking impossible, your unsolicited opinion about what I should do with my body is really unnecessary. First of all, I'm on a balanced diet full of natural foods that I cook myself the vast majority of the time. There is nothing wrong with that. And just because you might need a day to eat pasta and cake to be happy, which is fine, doesn't mean that I need the same thing. And if ever the moment comes where I feel like I might die if I don't have a scoop of ice cream, you better believe that I'm gonna eat it and I'm not gonna need anyone's permission to do it. And if you can't tell, I'm halfway joking. I mean, these are my friends I'm talking about. I love them. But it's just kind of funny because you can almost forget how social eating is until you go on a diet. Being in the presence of people who are not watching what they're eating when you're on a diet is like being a sober person at a bar. I mean, people will act like you are ruining all their fun and their entire night just because you won't put something in your mouth. That sounded kind of dirty. Look, I'm Asian, therefore I understand very well the significance that food plays when it comes to socializing and expressing your love. But I don't think anyone should have to choose between being around their friends, family, and loved ones or eating healthy. I should be able to do both without being harassed. I like sharing my food and inviting my friends to try something that I love just as much as the next person, if not more. But if that person told me that they had a nutritional goal, or maybe that they didn't want to drink, I wouldn't berate them until they succumb to my will. I would just leave them alone. I just respect it and move the hell on. I mean, if the roles were reversed and I wasn't on a diet at all and I was around someone who had some dietary restriction and they wanted to like rub it in my face and try to get me over to their side, that would be a different story, but that's not what's happening here. I don't think everyone should be on my diet. My diet works for me. I fucking love food. If I didn't say it enough times in this video, I love food. But it's not the only thing that matters. I can have fun whether or not I have a beer and whether or not I have dessert. And I'm sorry, but I simply refuse to eventually become a fat middle-aged woman just because for some nonsensical reason you guys can't enjoy your food if I'm not sharing in it too. What do you guys think? Have you ever been on a diet and what was the hardest part of it? Have you ever experienced a sort of social thing where it's really hard to stay on a diet just because of like the way everyone else is reacting to you? Let me know in the comments below and I will see you guys again next week. Bye.